Recording. Spawning here in the top right. Oh, I should have changed his name. From Born Gosu, no waifu, no life. It is AsheN. In the bottom left from Sonic Aftermath, our Zerg player in purple. It is Sigil. So while the overall series is tied 3-3, this individual match is actually a best of 3. Look at that afterwards. November. This individual match is actually a best of 3, but it is forced to 1 point, and it is the actual ace set. We are tied, so it is a legitimate ace set. And I, honest to God, think this was the last match that was played this week for this matchup. I think it was played, like, Sunday around 5 or so, after everything else already been played. Honestly, I think it was a 3-0 lead that they had. But yeah, it would mean they blew a 3-1 lead, just like the Indians, just like the Golden State Warriors. Not, however, like the Pittsburgh Penguins. Anyway, relatively safe opener from both of our players here. Hatch into pool for Sigil. No gas just yet from the Zerg, which I think is a kind of a relatively old playstyle. AsheN with all of the queued up actions. Gonna pop in and they go directly for the third. And honestly, given that there is no gas yet for Sigil, I'd imagine he's going to take a third base pretty quickly. And AsheN is gonna see this here momentarily. Say, hey, you don't have any gas. Maybe I should go check out your third base, eh? But meanwhile, AsheN taking his own natural base. Reaper on the way. AsheN just bouncing back and forth between the natural and the main. Currently. Sigil, I love that Sigil's just powering out drones right now. Don't need gas. Just want some drones. Reaper on the way, as well as a factory on the way. Reactor being built as well. Second supply to depot being made there for AsheN. No third base just yet from Sigil. He's more concerned about getting the queens up. He does have the money to do so. But he does need something to protect it because the Reaper is here. The Reaper is actually going directly for the third, at least for the moment. It's going to be kind of difficult to push that away with just drones and just lings, to be honest. But first queens do pop. A couple more queens will be popping out, or coming up. So 2 queens going to shoo away this Reaper. Off a creep, so it kind of is rough to do. But they will get the job done. Reactor Hellions coming out, starport being built here for AsheN. Second gas was finished up a little bit ago, and his natural has just finished up, turning into an orbital as well. Reaper trying to deny the third base, doesn't quite get that done, however. Reaper just happily picking away with his grenades. First 2 Hellions on the map already. We're gonna see Banshees. We're gonna see Banshees. Or Ravens, I guess, but probably Banshees. Don't disappoint me. Yep, we got some Banshees. AsheN doing a nice job of keeping the Reaper alive. Again, this is the first Masters matchup, so these players are quite a bit more versed in the game itself than the previous sets we have seen. But, of course, not really at the pro level just yet. This is just Masters 2 and 3 players. Just going to start chipping away at this third base, and honestly, keeps doing that. Along with, eventually, the Banshee. But Sigil has seen the tech lab on the starport, so he knows this is on the way. We'll actually probably even see the Banshee pop out. Oh, doesn't quite see it. She's on the wrong side. Roach Warren, 6 roaches on the way. Spore Collars on the way and all the bases. There's queens in position as well. So Sigil should not have any trouble getting through this initial stage of the game. Actually, Armory coming up really quickly here for this. Could just go directly into Hellbats, even? Is that a possibility? I mean, AsheN's kind of waiting for it. Sigil doesn't have the blue vision. of what's actually happening. Doesn't know that the armory is down here. Armory is finishing up. Got the Hellbat transformation. Queen's going to scout it out. So the roaches can't get in position. That's a lot of roaches, actually. That's 8 roaches, I'm pretty sure. Cloak Banshee going to help out, but... yeah, that's a lot of damage. Banshee's actually in range of the Spore Caller, so we do have Sigil having the vision that he needs to have. And actually going to have to back out of here, so... Not quite the damage he was looking for, but I mean, he did force all these early units. Just really well done by Sigil to kind of sniff that this was happening. Kind of understand what was happening from his opponent. The possibilities, kind of all the different iterations of things that could be happening. And picking the right response to it. Hellbat's going to try to pop over here and get some damage done, but roaches are on top of it. Nice creep spread already from Sigil. We'll shoo that away. There's no vision right now. So the Banshee's going to be annoying, but it is going to be out of energy here in just a couple moments. Is that the only Banshee? No, there's a second Banshee. Oop, there you are. Hello, second Banshee. SCV is sitting here, making sure this gold base isn't getting taken. So they will know, in theory, when that gets taken. Overseer, going to just extra vision. Third command center. Banshee trying to pop in and get some work done, but no kills. And actually, have he killed? No drones. No drones killed. For something that was quite a bit of tech commitment from AsheN. We'd kind of like to see even just a single Viking as he builds a single Viking. Or the Cyclone. Take care of some of these Overlords. Shoo them away at least. We're going to be seeing mech here from the Terran player. 64 workers to 51. So Sigil, despite having to make all of these early units that he did, is up to a pretty nice saturation for the third base. So he should be taking his fourth relatively soon, I imagine. Unless he just feels like powering through on just 3 bases. Maybe trying to force AsheN to not be able to take this third base as he lifts off and flies on over. No Overlords in sight to drop any creep or even see that this is happening currently. But that is a hefty number of roaches that are coming out. +1/+1 will be finished up here for the Zerg player relatively soon. Hydrogen on the way. The Hydrogen actually popped down and scanned pretty much immediately by AsheN. Nice wall off. Love it. I'm pretty sure the rocks won't fall on top of those Platypus, but what do I know? +1/+1 finishing, +1 attack for the mech army. We'll be finishing up shortly as well. Not too many units out right now for our Terran player. Only a couple of tanks, a couple of Cyclones. There are 3 Banshees, which is nice, especially given the fact that there aren't any Hydras on the way just yet. No upgrades for the Hydras either, but still just pumping out a mass amount of roaches. 165 supply, 177 supply to 115 supply. That's kind of frightening. Just a little bit. Oh god, and the Hellions running directly into the army. So this is the oh god moment for AsheN. How am I going to deal with this? Actually, a lot of his army is just out of position. He only has the 2 tanks. This is just a massive 3 base. I'm gonna kill you push if you're not prepared. This is a nice little choke for AsheN to defend with. So at least AsheN does have that. And the 3 Banshees, again, pretty powerful in this situation. But they will take forever to chew through these roaches. Really nice... never mind. I was going to say, really nice split from the Zerg player. But he decides to just walk on home, I suppose. He is just kind of bleeding units right now to those Banshees. I don't think he really expected it to be 3 of them. Maybe the 2 or the 1 initial one. Curse of Vials, trying to catch those, but doesn't actually get any of them. 10 Hydras will be popping up pretty soon, though. So once those come across, I imagine Sigil may continue this push. Hydra range on the way as well. Infestation Pit on the way. This 4th base is about to finish up over here at the gold. AsheN going to send some Hellions out here. I don't think they have Blue Flame. No, they don't. They do have Blue Flame. How about that? So if they get inside this mineral line, they could take out quite a bit. I wonder if... Nope. 2 Banshees did go, but I think 1 went down, though. Yeah, 1 went down. This is a tough position for AsheN to have to actually deal with. Actually getting in and as I said, gets on top of the drones and takes out quite a number. So despite killing none earlier, he just killed 9. So that's nice. 9 drones for the cost of, I don't know, 5 Hellions. Not that bad at this point. Draws his opponent's army all the way back, which is always a good thing at this stage. Banshee's trying to just sniff out where everything is, but there's enough hiders there at this point that if they get on top of this, they're going to go down real quick. 1 down, 2 down. No more Banshees. Tanks, that is a lot of tanks. Not going to pop into there. Nope. Nice chokes for AsheN to defend with, but yeah, once these depots go down. Honestly, if Sigil just doesn't really have the mobility right now to take care of this, does take out a tank, so that's nice. Nice little pick off, but just this army is just so slow. Roach speed is done, yeah. Pneumatized Carapace coming in, actually, even. There goes that Viking. That's a lot of tanks, and I guess Sigil's just kind of going for it. I guess he just wanted to take out... I don't know what he wanted to take out there. He just lost a lot for relatively no reason. 34 roaches have died this game. 6 hydras. Only the 1 tank has died for AsheN, which is actually pretty huge, to be honest. He's got 14 tanks at this point, which is just a little bit ridiculous. Just a little bit. Fifth hatchery coming up for Sigil. We do have the 4th base that was built a little while ago for AsheN. It is a planetary as well. He's putting a couple more depots. It's been really hard to get up to. Just some links popping over here, but actually I think this is a full wall off already. Yeah, so you're gonna take some time. Not quite a full wall off, just a little 1 pixel of space. But 18 kills in the planetary. Don't think he has high sec auto tracking, so he doesn't have the range of the planetary just yet. Army's just kind of dancing around each other right now. Oh, Lord. Oh, actually, that's a nice little wall there. If this were an open space, this would be real bad, but it's not an open space. It's not an open space. You gotta siege those tanks. Oh, Lord. I mean, still. That is so many tanks. Oh, my God. Everything just died. Everything went boom. That was so many tanks. I mean, you catch your Terran opponent unsieged, completely unsieged, and you lose your entire army, and you kill 1 tank. He killed 1 tank. How did he only kill 1 tank? Oh my Lord. Well, that's rough. Mech is pretty powerful in that situation. that started as poorly as it could have for AsheN. He was unsieged, all the tanks were clumps, and he still manages to take out the entire army. We do have some Vipers involved now, 3 of them. They don't really have any energy. Well, one's, I think, actually 2 are full energy. 1 is almost at full energy. I think AsheN realizing this, starting to make out some Vikings now. And he's starting to just take all the bases. He's just going to push it. That's a huge blinding cloud, actually, but there are a couple tanks still firing here in the back. Liberators as well doing a ton of damage because, well, Vipers can't do anything. Vipers don't do anything against that. There's nothing that shoots up currently that's alive. So AsheN can still kind of keep bleeding forward. There's 40 Lings on the way. Just no gas left right now for the Zerg player. He doesn't have gas taken at this base. He lost his 4th gases. He lost the 4th base entirely, actually. Never took the gas over here. And probably just about out. Oh, yeah, he's got quite a bit left, but slowly creeping forward is the Terran player. Sigil going to try and go for this. His supplies plummeting. Some nice picks there by the Vipers, at least doing something. They do die, but the entire army of Sigil has died. 194 supply to 93, and he will tap out there. So AsheN will take game number 1 here of this best of 3 series. And again, the set is tied. Go directly into game number 2. We'll be on Neon Violet Square. So that'll be interesting. I'm so bad at everything. Alright, getting into game 2 immediately. spawning in the top. He's up 1-0 in this best of 3, trying to take his team to the semifinals. Our pink Terran player, it's AsheN. And his opponent in the bottom right, trying to keep Psyx alive. Purple Zerg, it's Sigil. So I'm curious to see if Sigil will keep playing kind of the reserved, I'm going to macro style of game that he played in the previous, which just let AsheN build up. There were a couple moments in that last game where Sigil, if he would have been able to push or split, even splitting his army into that where that third base location was for AsheN, and then also towards the natural ramp, kind of just pincered in that direction, probably could have gotten some work done and maybe finished the game out. But just AsheN's tanks just wouldn't die. And without dead tanks, that number just crept up and up and up. And despite pouncing on one of the best possible engagements he could have had, Sigil was only able to take out one of the tanks at the time. Kind of led to AsheN's victory there in that first game. This is a new map, though, and new life for the Zerg player. We do have a gas a whole lot quicker here for Sigil. I think it was Hatch Gas Pool this time. Same opener from AsheN, at least thus far. One Reaper coming out. We'll see the natural CC thrown down. And we will go from there. We do have enough gas for speed. We don't have enough minerals for speed. We do have enough gas for it. There we go. As soon as he got the minerals, he went in and started the speed. And he stayed in gas, so that's a little bit of telling. A little bit of a tell. Whether that ends up going toward Banelings, Roaches, Quick Lair, we'll have to wait and see. But AsheN already on top of if that third base is going to be there or not. Reaper coming in as well. Lane's just going to have to dance around for a little bit. Queen will pop out here momentarily. Until then, nicely played. Just nicely played by both players there. AsheN barely survives with the Reaper. One of the links for Sigil just barely survives as well. And we have Pneumatized Carapace coming up, actually. Rather quickly. But you need Lair now, right? You do need Lair? I'm not crazy. Oh, building the depot. How rude. Anyway, I'm pretty sure you need Lair. Oh, Reaper! Reaper went down. Almost got the kill on the drone. Probably would have been, maybe would have been worth it if you got the kill on the drone, but wasn't able to get that. So, Overlord Speed can be coming out here momentarily. I'm not sure if he was going for drops or not. Or he just wants to have the extra vision. I suppose that's a thing too. But yeah, you can't actually make that upgrade. But you will be able to see everything, which is nice, but I mean, it's the same opener as the previous game. Sigil knows that we already have the Tech Lab, but it's gonna be a Raven. I wish you would start an upgrade just until the Overload leaves. I mean, the Overlord can see that this isn't moving, so long as he pays a little bit of attention to it. So he may know that it's not actually cloaked. He's gonna click on it. I'm curious if he clicks on it. Doesn't look like it. But, I mean, even just the vision of that not lit up. There it goes. No. Even the vision of that not lit up is a bit of a tell. So you can sort of know that that's not actually going to be Banshees. But he's still getting this Warcaller regardless. So maybe the same kind of push coming out from AsheN. He's got the armory cropping up. And he's got a bunch of Hellions out. But instead of a Banshee, he's got a Raven. Where did that Raven go? There you are, Raven. Hello, Raven. Couldn't find it. That is so many Hellions already. It's 8 Hellions moving across the map. A few Roaches on the way. Curious what this will be able to get done. Because it's not going to have enough energy for the armor reduction. Oh, it will have enough energy for the armor reduction. So this actually could be pretty huge compared to the previous game, where the Hellbats weren't able to get too much done because the roaches are just way too tanky. But with that armor reduction, this could be big. And even just with the turret, that could be decent. But what's he going to do with this? Roach is going to pop in here. Queen's popping in kind of first. Keeps his roaches split. Oh, nice connection there. Gets all of the queens, but only 3 of the roaches. Pretty nice split here from Sigil. He's keeping all of his units kind of spread out. So the splash damage from those Hellbats doesn't do a lot of damage. And honestly, he didn't lose much there. So really well played by Sigil once again. And this time, AsheN lost all of his Hellbats. He lost 9 Hellbats there. I think he kept 1 alive. And all he killed were Lings. Sigil kept everything alive. Just lost some Lings. And AsheN lost pretty much everything at this point. There's another command center. We do have another factory coming in for the Terran player. No lair. Lair is finished, actually. Hellions coming into the natural, just scooting on by everything. Drones, smartly. No reason to really pull them when there's just 3 and they're just Hellions. That usually makes things go worse than they need to go. 5 workers do die. I think one of those may have been somewhere else. Banshee over here. Put some damage on the hatchery. But now it's getting attacked by this work collar, so we'll have to walk away. Just hold position. Not quite in range. Not quite in range there. Tank production has started here for the Terran player. A couple more factories rolling in, so he's going to be going up to 4. Meanwhile, Zerg player getting roach speed, getting +1/+1 for the ranged units. As soon as this Banshee runs out of health. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, Queen's like, yeah, I'll go attack you now. Oh, it goes down as well. Rough go, mate. But AsheN going to be taking his 3rd here. And it's going to be turning into a planetary, so he's playing full on. Turtle milk. Turtle milk? Turtle milk? Do turtles make milk? Is this a question? Should this be a question? It's probably the better question. Turtle mech with the planet. Oh, never mind. It's the fake out. Just gonna upgrade to an orbital. Though I swear, like, the visual looks like it's a planetary, but it's the icon is an orbital. There it goes. Okay. Oh, Sigil, love it. Look at the vision. Sing out all these overlords.
Creep tumor under attack.
Is it? Sure is. A couple of Hellions and a Banshee over here. Just take on some creep. Well done by AsheN. Just small little things that you can do to be better at the game. At this stage, when both players are kind of sitting back and just macroing a little bit, go ahead and take that time to scan. And now Sigil doesn't have any creep down here. Doesn't have any vision. That's all gone. This is so much vision that just got lost, and so much movement that got lost, honestly. It's probably the bigger concern for the Zerg player. A couple Banshees rolling in, but I think they were scouted by the Overlord, whether or not he noticed. There is a Spore Caller here, but 2 Banshees. Quick work to this extractor that's not being used. It's not a big deal for Sigil. I don't think he really cares that much. Okay, yeah, no problem. I'll lose that extractor. I wasn't using that yet. Obviously, you lose the drone investment and then the 25 minerals, but not a huge deal. Where'd the scan at? I was just scanning everything. AsheN is getting as much vision as he possibly can right now. Is he getting up to hive already? That's a pretty decently timed hive. 9-minute hive. Not a lot of tech out in general. 72 army supply to 61, just slightly in favor of the Zerg player. 73 workers to 68 in favor of the Terran player, actually, which can be frightening. 4th base just relatively finished up, but it's this pocket 4th, which is kind of annoying. Actually oversaturated in probably a couple places. We'll probably want to retake this gas sometime soon. And actually, AsheN going into Thor's pretty quickly. He saw the spire, he saw the hive coming up pretty quickly. So he knew he probably had to deal with some sort of Zerg air soon. Sigil taking out these rocks, giving himself a little bit more mobility on his side of the map, at least. curious if he'll bother taking out these as well. As it stands, he has this wide open area and kind of this direct path to get there if AsheN were to take this gold base at any point. But AsheN does go ahead and take this as his fourth. And this one will be a planetary. Not a big shock there. Viper is already in production here for Sigil, trying not to make the same mistake as he made in the previous game of having nothing to contend with the tanks, but the tank gets a lot lower this game. Only 8 tanks compared to the 14 or so that there were last game at this stage. Both players just kind of sitting back at the moment. This is a huge map. Absolutely huge map. Ton of Hellions popping out, trying to go get some worker kills, I'd assume, but actually picked a really bad time to do so and ran directly into the army. But these do have blue flame. There's a lot of drones sitting here. That is a mineral line ravaged. Only gets 10, maybe. Up to 16 total, so I think he may have gotten tanks. There were 19 there a moment ago. He may have moved some. But maybe a little bit is nice. Removes the supply from the game that he now is making tanks and Vikings for. It's a lot nicer use for that supply. It's the huge spread of the Zerg army. He's spread so far across the map right now. I'm going to try and go him to the 4th base, but there's 2 tanks here. A lot of the army, yeah, he gets shot. He's like, nah, I'll pass. I'll pass. Actually, adrenal glands coming out here for the Zerg player. What's he got? He's got +1 melee, +1 range, +1 carapace. Got all the +1s. He's got +2 range attack just about to come out. Oh, God, he's just so out in the middle of nowhere. Back up, my dude. Oh, this is shaping up to be a large engage. Blinding clouds? Blinding anything? Okay, blinding clouds goes down to the back tanks. A couple of ducks go down as well. So some tanks do get bled off there. Not a whole lot. I think he's going for another duck real quick. Oh, he's just going to lose a Viper for nothing. Ouch. Sigil going to back up here, but he is replacing with more roaches and Hydralisks, but he is getting 2 spires at the same time. So we get to see some Broodlords at some point. Nice concave coming up from both sides. AsheN kind of wisely just backing out of that one. Does lose a tank, some Hellbats, but really not a lot lost on either side. 131 to 106 army supply right now. Slightly in favor of Sigil, but I would say that all of these tanks, 10 tanks, is pretty nice for our Zerg player. AsheN kind of getting caught out once again, but Sigil does not want to make that same mistake as the prior game. And he doesn't have any Vipers left over right now. It's a lot of Thors. Sigil's kind of pouncing on this. It's not that many tanks, honestly. He had a nice concave from both sides. He takes out a bunch of those tanks. He's down to 9. He's back up to 10 now, but I think he just lost 4 or 5. He's lost 14 this game, which is really nice. Actually, I completely missed there's another engage over here. Paying no attention. Hydra scooting in from behind, taking out some workers. That's just an Overlord. So 16 to 10 workers killed. Evening up the worker count just a little bit. No gold base taken over here just yet. This gold is, well, it's been taken for a while. He's been working on that pretty heavily. +3 ranged attack. Greater Spire on the way. +1 air attack on the way for the Zerg player as well. Oh, the tanks are unsieged once again, but the maze. The maze. He does lose 2. Oh my god, the Lings. Actually, the Lings are a huge deal right now. Blinding Cloud goes down to that huge chunk of tanks. Those tanks are doing nothing. That is a huge supply swing. And honestly, I think Sigil may have just broken AsheN. AsheN got a little too gutsy moving out on the map. Gotta lose one of his bases. Gotta lose some workers. And he's losing most of his army as well. He's got 3 tanks in production. Tanks are kind of just trickling in from behind, taking out a little bit at a time, but at this point, he is down 100 supply. 32 Lings in production behind this, and then we go GG. Game 2, he will even up. Whoop, whoop, whoop. There we go. He will even up the series, and we will have a Game 3, a deciding Game 3, here in this A set. The end of our round of 6 matchup here against Borgosu and Sonic Aftermath for a trip to face Guns N' Roaches. Wait, yeah, yep. No, Taste the Bacon. They're playing Taste the Bacon, whoever wins this matchup. Wow. Keep him... Hang on. Yeah, AsheN just kind of got caught out in the worst spot possible, at the worst moment possible. It is what it is. We will go in to game number 3. And spawning here in the bottom right of Catalyst. In pink, our mech player, Terran. No waifu, no laifu. It's AsheN. And the top left, our Zerg from Sonic Aftermath. It's Sigil. So, neither player has really deviated from their playstyle, at least the opening so far. Oh, JK. That's a really early gas. So let's gas into barracks rather than barracks into gas that we have been seeing from AsheN. We are seeing the same hatch first for Sigil. Will this be gasless or will this be pool gas? I'm guessing gasless. Wait, did he queue up? What's going on? I'm just confused why his minerals are so low, but I guess the game's a little further along than I think it is. Who's gonna die here? Get out of there. Oh no, you're gonna die. No. Oh, he got juked. Look at the jukes on this dude. Dang, yo. So it was hatch gas pool here for Sigil. And his drone got a kill, which is pretty nice, but I think the drone got killed back. But still, that did not need to happen. The juke was real. I'm assuming AsheN expected that drone to go for the extractor to survive a little longer. And then it didn't. And then his SCV died. Quick Ripper here from AsheN. He already has quite a bit of gas. Maybe this is what he did last game and I just missed it. Because obviously the Raven costs a little bit more gas. But Factory going to be coming out real quick here as well. And once again, Sigil probably going to go for an early speed. Just to deal with whatever AsheN decides to throw at him. Sigil a little afraid to go poke. See what's up above. Reaper already across the map, sitting at third base. Just gonna happily walk back and forth for a while.
Add-on's done. Took long enough.
There's so many silly things with the fact that the announcer packs go through the observer. It's like, so whatever announcer pack the player has, if you're on their vision, you'll hear it. Just cracks me up. Oh, the Reaper! What a pick. It got the tumor and stayed alive. Nicely done by AsheN there. He does have a starport coming up. He doesn't actually have an add-on coming on his barracks. There we go. There's the tech lab. So once again, we're going to see something related to that same sort of push we have been seeing. Honestly, it kind of worked in the previous game. It just didn't work out as well as AsheN hoped. He didn't get the juicy connection with that Raven that he wanted. Reaper actually got into the main base somehow. So let's get some information. May actually get a drone. Nope. But Sigil did see that the tech lab is there. It's going to be Cloak Banshee this time. No third base yet for our Zerg player. There's the third base for our Zerg player. Oh! Oh, if he stops it. Yep. Gonna deny that third hatchery. So AsheN's run into a... Okay. It's a bit of skill. It's not a bit of luck. It's a bit of skill for AsheN here. Is this gonna walk right in? Is this gonna walk right in? The good old 4.5-minute scouting Hellion. There are some links getting into the main here, or the natural, excuse me, of AsheN, but he does take care of that. May have lost a drone, or a worker. Nope, he didn't, because that was the drone kill from earlier. So still no third here from our Zerg player, which honestly is a little bit more annoying, because now he can't get a Spore Crawler up for quite a long time. If he wants to get a Spore over there in time for the Banshee, which is somewhere. There you are, Banshee. In time for the Banshee, he's going to have to move it from this direction. Oh, just misses getting this Tuma. Yeah, and he is moving a Spore Crawler over into the creep, just to get as close as possible as he can to this base. But this base is going to take some free damage for a while. Another Banshee is following us up. A third Banshee even. And mainly just a lot of drones coming out here for Sigil. Yeah, it's just barely out of his vision range. He's trying to get the tumors over there. So that tumor that the Reaper killed earlier is actually huge right now. If that tumor still existed, this creep would probably be a lot closer. The Hellbats are going to roll in here as well, trying to get top. They killed one of the queens. There's nothing but lings right now. There are no roaches. Really smart from Sigil, though. He did go ahead and take this third base down here, realizing that this one was probably going to die. So he's able to cancel that, and he still has one building. Obviously, it's still just denied for such a long period of time. And AsheN doesn't know this is down here. Still, really nice way to open the game here for AsheN. Hellbat's waddling on home. And we've got the 3 Banshees out in the middle of the map. Just waiting for anything juicy to come by. And Sigil actually going to go ahead and double expand here. At this point. Probably a good idea. He's actually tied in workers right now. Third command center has finished up here for AsheN. He will let that off. And move that on over. Tank count starting to rise. We have 2 out currently, a third one on the way. A couple more factories being built. Another factory is building its own tech lab right now, so we'll be making 2 or 3 at a time here, just shortly. And just waiting for these Banshees to pop on over here. There isn't a Spore Crawler! Oh no!
Add-on complete.
There's no Spore Crawler, but there is the Overseer. There are 2 queens. This queen is the only one that has a transfuse right now, so if he focuses this queen down, he might be able to get it, but well, Banshee goes down. Yet another Banshee pops on in here, so he's going to go for this hatchery again, I think. And happily so. Queen gonna join forces. Does he have enough firepower to kill this hatchery before his Banshees go down? I'm not really sure. It's gonna be pretty close. With decent micro, which is what he has. Is he gonna transfuse the hatch? He could do that. Oh, not gonna do it. Okay. Oh, he keeps that Banshee alive. I don't know how. This Banshee is alive somehow. The Hydrogen coming in the main. These Banshees are being so annoying. Some Hellbats rolling in here as well. AsheN just kind of being a jerk. There's no way this hatch goes down, right? There's no way this hatch goes down, right? Oh my god. Nope. Okay, gets transfuse off. It should be fine. He's just gonna go for it. Oh, he gets it! Main hatch goes down. So these Banshees, he's killed 3 friggin' hatcheries with Banshees right now in this game. And yeah, he lost all of those Banshees. But the income. This base is barely up. He has to remake this hatchery quickly. He's got to put the tuber down as well, make sure his units don't, or his buildings don't bleed out. And AsheN is over here. 3 bases. Meal's working away. Has he got another CC coming in? Yeah, I'm surprised he's not building a CC. He's got a lot of money. He's got a lot of money. Not quite spending it right now. A little bit supply block. No, not even supply blocked really. Just spreading his tanks out. Just gonna go ahead and play defensive. Get to the point that he wants to be at, because he knows he's in a pretty good spot. Sigil once again putting overlords all around the map, which is really nice. He's getting the vision that he can. But he's going to kind of lose some. There's a Viking out kind of hunting for these. What kills does Viking actually have? Viking has 2 kills currently, so if he keeps looking around, it'll get a couple more eventually. Another command center being built here for our Terran player. And all of this early harassment, early hatcheries being killed has led to a pretty sad state of affairs for a Zerg player. I mean, the mineral and gas income, and mainly it's the mineral income. Yeah, mules exist, but this ain't just mules. This is killing 2 bases. And denying this 3rd base for as long as AsheN did. Well, it was a little overthrow drop here, which I completely just neglected to pay attention to. We'll get cleaned up. This takeout and add-on, which is nice. And he puts this kind of fear in AsheN's brain that this can be a thing, so now I have to think about it. Ooh, Roach is going to get cut out a little bit here. I'm not sure if AsheN realizes that's actually not much of the army. AsheN probably doesn't want to spend too much money on missile turrets at this stage of the game. That's a nice little play there from Sigil, just to kind of drag his opponent back. +1 attack and armor are finished for the mech units. We have +1/+1 for the range units of the Zerg player. +2 is about 70% done for Sigil. Oh, he's in a real bad spot now. His army's out in the middle of the map. AsheN is in the 3rd base. Tanks are sieged. That base is probably gone. All the drones did go ahead and evacuate. They're going to move down here, but this base isn't even up yet, again. He's got his main back. This hatchery exists, but you can't send drones over there without them getting killed. They're in a really awful spot. Tank completely unsieged again, so they're going to try and jump on top of these. When we saw this happen in game number 1, most of the tanks are going down. Great focus fire from our Zerg player. We should clean this up at least. There he goes. Cleans those units up. There are some more Hellbats over here in the natural kind of choke area. Reinforcements coming in for AsheN, but I mean, tanks are slow units, man. Tanks are slow. They can't really get there that quickly. AsheN has taken his own 5th base. 4th base. I can count numbers. He's actually just kind of rolling in from behind here. 131 supply to 94. So both players losing a lot at this point of the game. Both of them over 6,000 minerals lost. Over almost 2,000 gas lost for both players. Obviously more gas can be lost for the Terran player when he's playing mech. And now AsheN's going to push into what is, I guess, the 3rd base for the Zerg player. Drones actually lined up. No blue flame. Oh god, he even transfers. I guess he doesn't really care about the drones right now. He's actually more worried about he kills the bases. And if you don't have anything to mine from, what are you going to do? Long distance mine? Of course, AsheN doesn't currently know about the base in the top right. He is scanning a little bit, trying to find out where the army actually is. Doesn't want to get attacked from both locations. Army supply just everywhere. And now, again, Sigil's army is out in the middle of the map, and AsheN is pushing into his natural. I mean, Sigil doesn't have much of an army at this point. 50, 60 army supply to 81. All of these tanks just clumped up. There's no tier 3 tech out for the Zerg player. He doesn't have the Vipers that he wants to deal with this. AsheN, thankfully, only moving a few tanks at a time here. So they're going to try to jump on top of this, but most of his units actually dying before they even get shots off. He's going in, but he's losing everything. It's looking like AsheN maybe taking this home. Drones are being pulled, but drones don't do too well against Blue Flame Hellbats and tanks. 176 supply to 70 in favor of the Terran player. This may just be the end of the line here for Sonic Aftermath. Not going to be able to defend their Season 17 championship. Queen's making a valiant last-ditch effort. Even Liberator's taking out some overlords over here. But there we go. GG from Sigil. And that's going to do it. Congrats to Born Gosu. They will move on to the semifinals. They'll be facing Taste the Bacon. As I update this one for the last time. Yeah, so that was a really good series. That game, for the most part, just went super, super well for AsheN. Pretty much the entire time. It went really, really well for him. From the opening, getting that creep tumor. It doesn't seem like it's that much at that stage of the game. But then 3 minutes later, when those banshees are there, if that creep tumor had been there, that sport collar is probably near the third base already. So that's actually pretty huge, being able to get that done. So really, really cool. So congrats to Borgo. So they will move on. As I said, they'll play Taste the Bacon. The other semifinal is going to be, or the other round, the other first round matchup will be cast tomorrow night, I believe, by G.KZ over at twitch.tv/G.KZ. I think he said 7 p.m. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure he meant Eastern. Just assuming so, since he lives Toronto-ish area, or Montreal-ish area, or Ottawa-ish area. I don't really know. He lives somewhere in Canada, on the east side of Canada. So at some point tomorrow, that'll be cast, so do look out for that. Thanks for hanging out and watching this. And go ahead and sign off relatively soon. I'm going to leave this recording open for a little bit, just so we don't have complete spoilers, but it's pretty clear what happens in this game pretty early on. Cool, thanks for hanging out. Not being right back. It's a lie. It's a lie.